Hey there, welcome to this webinar where we are focusing right now on how to hire the right marketers. And more specifically, let's talk about what's happening in the next 15 minutes here. What you can expect in this webinar for the next 15 minutes is I want to share with you, based on my years of experience running and hiring marketing teams, I want to give you three tips that are going to save you 100 hours in the entire process of hiring marketers, save you 100 hours for that process of hiring for open marketing roles. Plus, I want to get you to that onboarding process faster, right? So get excited about finding the right candidate so you can launch your own onboarding process. So that's what's going to happen in the next 15 minutes. But listen, hiring for marketers isn't easy. And we want to provide the solutions that you need given your situation. So there's two other options you have if this information has been helpful, but you need a little bit more guidance as it relates to hiring marketers for your team. First, there's a deeper course, a course that has more information that covers the entire spectrum of hiring a marketer. And that includes doing a little bit more prep. There's some templates we provide for you to organize and take inventory of what you need. We go deeper into some resources and templates that are necessary for establishing the right business case for hiring marketers. Plus, samples of assessments you can give specific marketers for specific roles, plus some more tips and templates and guides for onboarding, how to set up your marketer for success when it comes to onboarding. So that course is available. Just check the link in the video description and it'll lead you to more information on how to access that. The second way we can give you more guidance is just becoming a TMH Plus mentorship member. And you're probably going to need that if you're somebody who is in the process of hiring, or it's happening soon, or you're in it right now. The TMH Plus mentorship member will get access to 24/7 mentor chat. You'll get access to weekly office hours. You really get the hands-on guidance you need to navigate the situation. Oh, by the way, as a TMH Plus member, you'll get direct connection to the relevant marketers for the roles you have, because we may be able to do that given knowing who's looking for roles to fill the roles that you have open. So keep those in mind. Like I said, check the links in the video description to access more information on those things. Now, you're watching this webinar because you've said these things. You've talked about, wanting a better solution, not being able to find quality candidates. And you're probably a marketing manager that is looking to build a new team. You've got some marketing roles you need to fill, or you're a marketing manager and you have some backfill roles. You've been touched by the Great Resignation. You have some roles to fill ASAP. Or you could be the marketer who's looking for that career moment. You're looking to create a career moment where you can take on some more responsibility and help your manager solve this problem of finding the right candidates for your team. That would be great. And there's a lot of information you can gain from this webinar. So if this is you said these things, you're in the right spot. Two things to start off with here. Keep in mind that the best time to start hiring for a marketer is when you don't need to. Now, like I said, if you've been touched by the resignation and you're in a frenzy trying to hire quickly, we have a solution for you we're going to share. But always be sourcing for candidates for marketing roles. That's one thing to keep in mind. Second is, listen, when it comes to hiring for marketers, something I've learned is that it's not an exact science. And when it comes to hiring, it really is coming down to your best educated guess. And what you're going to learn today is going to help you, equip you with ways to make sure you're making the best educated guess possible when it comes to hiring for that next marketer. So let me set the stage by just talking about the 5 stages that exist for hiring any marketer. And this is the outline for what our hiring marketer course is all based on, which you can find the link in the description of this video. But there's 5 things you need to keep in mind. First, you need to take inventory of what's going on. Do you really need to hire someone full-time, or do you need a freelancer? That's something to really think about. 2, you need to build a business case. It's hard to hire without having that fully thought out and fleshed out. Then 3 and 4 become pretty important, right? How do you make sure you're finding the right marketing candidates, and how do you make sure that you're selecting the right candidates? And lastly, the final stage here is setting up your marketing candidate for success. So like I said, this is the outline for our full hiring a marketer course. But for this webinar, I just want to focus in on this section, these 2 stages. finding candidates, selecting the right marketing candidates. So diving into those, I just want to focus on 3 tips that'll save you at least 100 hours in the entire process when it comes to hiring the right marketing talent. So first, at a high level, right? The first tip is you need a better job description, and I'm going to go through that in a second. Second, you need to source candidates more selectively. Now, again, your HR team, your HR colleague is going to be extremely helpful, but there's some things you can be doing to supplement their activities. I'll talk about those. Third, you need a better candidate selection process. We want to get away from the gut feel. I think gut is important. I get it. But let's support that with some quantitative data. Like I said, it's a hiring is a best, it's making your best guess, right? So I want to talk about how to do that better with some more quantitative inputs. So better job description, sourcing candidates more selectively, and third is a better candidate selection process. So let's dive into these quickly. First, better job description. Think about this. How does your job description look right now? So before you rush to post something in LinkedIn, take a step back to think about what you're putting in your job description for hiring the right marketer. Chances are there may not be as much detail as there could be, because when you think about it, marketers, I'd like to think, are a little bit more educated on what to look for and how to look for roles. So I want to make sure you're including the right things. First, you have to make sure that your description is written for the candidate, not for you, but for the candidate. And what I mean by that is speak to the candidate that this is a solution for them. Focus on the benefits of the role, in addition to breaking out the details of the position. But you have to write your copy with a you and your mindset, right? So write your copy so it's focused on talking about you want to be this is satisfying for your, et cetera, et cetera. Really focus on the benefits when it comes to that description. Second, make it as transparent as possible. Now, I realize, nowadays in some states, you have to share salary information. If it's optional, why not share it? And try it for the next role you have available, because the whole purpose of this template that you're going to get access to is that you develop a marketing job description that is as transparent as possible. So you may not get as many candidates, but obviously the ones that you do get should be highly qualified, or I should say more qualified than they may have been in the past. So that's going to save you time, because you're not going to have as many, and those that are applying know what the salary range is. They're clear about what success looks like. They know who they're reporting to, and you're being clear about the time frame. Listen, if your time frame for hiring for a role is 3 weeks to 5 weeks to 6 weeks, fine. Be upfront about it, because if someone's looking to get hired before that, they will not be in your queue. They will not waste your time, and you will not waste their time. So again, a better job description can clearly save you a lot of time and effort as it relates to the volume of candidates that come through. Second, I talked about sourcing candidates selectively. So again, work in tandem with HR. Let them do their thing, because they're going to want to, whether they're using external recruiters or building a process to satisfy LinkedIn and some of these other syndicated networks. Got it. Make sure they use your job description though. But what you could be doing is sourcing candidates and cherry picking people that you know are qualified, because you're a marketer. You know what marketing skills and where marketers hang out. Well, go find them. And I include a template here that you can use. And this is one of the tips and tricks that I've used in hiring candidates in the past is, let's say I'm hiring for a content marketing manager and I'm a B2B SaaS company. I'm going to go to other B2B SaaS companies and see who the content marketer is in those roles. And let's say it's not necessarily 100% competitive, like a direct competitor. Maybe it's in the same family of industry. But if I can see their work. I can see maybe they post great content. They have a good feel for the brand. Or I'm going to send this message to that person and just see if they're interested in a conversation. Because like we know nowadays, everyone may be looking for another opportunity. So don't underestimate the power of a simple couple sentence message that may hit the right candidate at the right time, that saves you a ton of time, and you're able to get some qualified candidates in the conversation, in the process, more effectively than blindly applying or leveraging some of those job boards. Secondly, when it comes to sourcing candidates selectively, like I said before, you may not need a full-time team member. You may need a specific marketing skill right away. But did you know that there are places, there are curated platforms that have marketers, trained marketers, experienced marketers that are ready to help? It could be someone who used to be a director that's ready to do some specific task work. And you can hire them for that, knowing they've been vetted by some of these communities. So Maple, Marketer Hire, or some niche communities like Ada or Quora or Superpath. Now, my point here is that there's a ton of them, but you'll go to the video description and look for a link for all the resources from this webinar, and I have an entire list. I have a blown out list of where you can find some of these niche resources that'll be finding more or higher quality marketers in these niche communities. Now, third, a better candidate selection process. Like I said before, gut is fine when you're interviewing somebody, but you want to support your gut with a little bit of data. And I share with you here 2 templates to improve your candidate selection process. Now, you may have a process and it may have worked, and that's fine, but the point with these 2 templates I'm about to share with you is that you get alignment with your committee. Everyone's on the same page of what you're looking for in a role. And then you put pen to paper in terms of you start using a rubric style way of scoring so that collectively your committee knows who do you like and who don't you like. This first template is a what I'll call an answer guide. So there's over 15 questions that are specific to marketers that your team would want to select. You're not going to ask all the questions, but maybe you identify, all of you ask the same 3 questions, and then everyone has 2 random questions, and you score them from a score of a +1, 0, or -1. And you can score that, and then you have a total score that you would bring to the conversation and debrief afterwards. It's just a great way to organize everyone into the same questions category, but having the same way of judging the answers that you hear from each candidate. So that's the one. The second is another scorecard, but this one's going to work in tandem with the one I just showed you. But this scorecard is more for the hiring manager. So you can use this. It is completely customizable. And you can identify each of the categories that you want to measure your candidates on. And you can use this as a way to collectively aggregate how everyone felt about each of the candidates. So let me jump out here real quick and walk through these just so you can get a sense for what is in each of these scorecards. So here's the first one. Like I said, tons of questions. I recommend you pick at least 3 that everyone asks the same question, and then you can grade them, +1, 0, -1. Then it totals the score, and you have that. This other one is the scorecard, completely customizable. So I just left in here some criteria that I would use when hiring marketers. And you can see here, there's a rubric from 1 to 5. There's 5 categories. You can explain what you mean by each of these criteria. This is after you identify the mission for the role, the competencies you're looking for in the role. So again, anyone in your committee, your hiring committee that's going through and using a scorecard, is extremely clear on what you're looking for this specific role. You can see here, there's weighting available, so you can weight each of the criteria based on what's important for you, your company, and your role. But look how easy this makes it for when you have, let's say, 6 candidates and you're aggregating the scores. And then easily which 4 candidates to talk about. And let's say there's a tie. Well, then you can immediately remove everyone else and focus on those 2 candidates and go deeper into talking through what did you mean by resourcefulness, what did you like about critical thinking, et cetera, et cetera. Now listen, every company is different. Every hiring manager is looking for something different potentially, but you can customize these. And these are customizable for you and will save you a ton of time. So let's jump back into the rest here. So again, these templates, you can look in the description, find a link to them, save a copy for yourself, make them your own. I created these because I wanted to save time. I created these because I was tired of getting sort of, asking my interview committee that I work with and say, what do you think about the candidate? And they say, they were okay. Yeah, they were okay. They were good. They were great. I need something better than that. So I created this. So use these to save a ton of time in your process. So save 100 hours, get to that onboarding step faster by using the tips I just shared with you. You've got a better job description now. You know how to source candidates more selectively. And you're going to find a ton of places to go look. I've given you a template on what to send out, so I've saved you time thinking about that. And then the selection process. Now you're going to need to figure out what works for you and your committee, but the templates are ready to go. All you need to do is think about what you want to include, select the weighting, select the questions that you want to ask your candidates. But that's ready to go. And at the end of it, you'll have some more objective data points here to make your decision. And again, this is proven. I've used this in building the last 3 teams in my marketing positions. One was a team of 20. Then it was a team of 5 that grew to 15. So it really helped me get to that onboarding process faster. And I wanted to share it with you. So again, check those video links. You'll find these templates, right? So make sure you get all these templates, the job description, the interview rubric, the scorecard, the messaging outreach templates, which are going to be key. And then that entire list of all those places to selectively find your next marketing candidate. And if you're sitting here thinking, hey, this is perfect, this is enough for me to go, great. If you are unsure how to implement these, you need help figuring out the criteria, what questions to ask. You have options, right? So again, the full Hiring Marketers course is available. Link is in the description of this video. Becoming a TMH Plus mentorship member will give you access to myself and other mentors to walk you through if you need a little bit more guidance when it comes to putting these in action. But I promise you, again, these have worked for me in the past. They can work for you if you set them up correctly and leverage them. So check for the links in the video description to get all these set up if you need more help. And again, this will help save you time. This will help you find the right marketing candidates. This will help you get to the onboarding process faster. If you have any questions at all with the information you access here, you can email me, Erik at themarketinghelp.co. Thank you for joining. Reach out with any questions, and best of luck in hiring your marketers.